At a family wedding, my in-laws gave a speech about true love and used my husband's ex as their example. They showed a slide of her and said, "Some matches are just meant to be." I watched my husband laugh with them. I clapped politely, then requested the DJ play Since You've Been Gone. That night, I checked into a hotel under my maiden name. I don't even know where to begin. I guess I should have trusted my gut years ago, but like a lot of people, I kept telling myself I was being sensitive. That I was overreacting. That I needed to give it time with his family. That was all a lie. And I wasted years of my life playing nice with people who never wanted me around in the first place. My name's Claire. I'm 34, and I live, or used to live, in Charleston, South Carolina. My husband, Ben, is 36. We've been married for 5 years. Dated for 3 before that. We don't have kids. Not for lack of trying, just hasn't happened yet. Ben comes from the kind of family that treats nostalgia like religion. Everything from his childhood is sacred. Every photo, every tradition, every ex-girlfriend. And by ex-girlfriend, I really mean one, Lacey. They dated all through college. She was his first love. His first everything, according to his mom. They broke up about 3 years before I met him when she moved to New York for grad school. I never knew the details because Ben never talked about it much. But his family sure did. From the first time I met them, Lacey's name came up constantly. Lacey used to help set the table. Lacey loved this lasagna recipe. Lacey had the cutest laugh. It was like I was living with a ghost. At first, I brushed it off. I told myself it was normal. People hang onto the past. Especially mothers. Especially when they've already decided who their son should have ended up with. But over the years, it wore me down. Every holiday, every visit, some little comment would slip in. Once, at Christmas, Ben's dad joked that our tree looked less lively than the one we had when Lacey helped decorate. Like the damn tree was in mourning too. Ben would always chuckle awkwardly and say something like, "Let it go, Dad," but he never told them to stop. Not really. And then came the wedding. His cousin Rachel was getting married, sweet girl, younger than us. She and I always got along fine. I honestly thought it would be a good weekend. A rare one. I wore a navy blue dress I bought just for that night. Simple, but elegant. I remember standing in front of the hotel mirror and thinking, I look good. I feel good. This will be a good night. I was wrong. Dinner went fine. The cake was beautiful. People danced, laughed, drank. I even shared a moment with Ben on the patio where he held my hand and told me I looked amazing. Then the toast started. First the bride's parents. Then the best man. Then Ben's parents. They were both tipsy. Not drunk, just loose enough to be real. His mom raised her glass. Tonight isn't just about Rachel and Dylan. It's about love. True love. The kind that lasts. Okay, I thought. Harmless enough. Then she kept going. The kind of love that teaches you who you really are. The kind you never forget. The kind that comes once, maybe twice in a lifetime if you're lucky. Ben's dad stepped in. We always said Rachel and Dylan reminded us of another young couple. And that's when the screen behind them lit up. I swear I stopped breathing. It was a photo of Ben and Lacey on the beach. He had his arm around her. She had on a white dress and a flower crown. It looked like one of those photos couples use on wedding invitations. My hands were clenched under the table. Ben and Lacey, his mother said. Her voice actually cracked. That was something special. Sometimes life doesn't work out the way you expect, but some matches, they just leave a mark. I turned my head slowly to look at Ben. He was laughing. That stupid, low chuckle he does when he's uncomfortable but trying to play it off. He leaned toward his brother and whispered something. His brother snorted into his champagne. They were laughing about it. About her. About this. And me? I was just sitting there, like an idiot, clapping politely while my marriage was being treated like a second-place ribbon. People looked at me. Some with pity. some with that awkward smile people make when they don't know where to look. My throat burned. My stomach twisted. And then I stood up. I walked straight over to the DJ, and I said, "Play Since You've Been Gone." Loud. He gave me a weird look, but he nodded. The music hit. I walked to the center of the dance floor, and I danced. Alone. On purpose. People watched, and I stared at Ben the entire time. I sang the lyrics out loud. When the line hit, "You had your chance, you blew it." I pointed straight at him, and then I turned my back. I danced through the whole song, sweat beading under my arms, my legs shaky but steady enough to make a point. Then I left. I went back to our hotel room, threw a few clothes in a tote bag, grabbed my charger, my wallet, and left a note on the dresser. It said, "When your parents are done giving standing ovations to your ex, tell them I'm not in the mood to compete with a memory." I checked into a different hotel under my maiden name. That was 3 days ago. And now? Now I'm not just walking away. I'm going to make sure they understand exactly what they threw away. I didn't answer Ben's calls the next morning. He texted me twice. "Ben, where are you? Ben, can we talk?" I ignored him. Around noon, I got a third message. This one longer. "Ben, Claire, I'm sorry about last night. My parents were out of line. I didn't know they were going to do that. I wasn't laughing at them. I was just trying not to make a scene." Sure. Don't make a scene. Just let them parade your ex like some lost soulmate while your actual wife sits there like a damn extra. I still didn't respond. Instead, I took a walk. Downtown Charleston was full of tourists, horse carriages, and street musicians. Normal life. Meanwhile, my marriage was crumbling. I found a quiet bench by the water and just sat there, phone in hand, rereading his message. It wasn't enough. Not even close. That night, I got an email from his mom. Subject: "Let's talk like adults, the body. I think we all know last night was a bit dramatic. Your little stunt with the DJ was embarrassing for everyone, including yourself. I hope you take a moment to reflect on how you handled things." I read it 3 times. She actually called me embarrassing. That's when I decided I wasn't just leaving, I was going to burn the whole damn bridge. I forwarded her email to Ben. No message. No comment. Just sent it. 5 minutes later, he called. I let it go to voicemail. He left one. "Claire, I saw the email. I'll talk to her. Please just talk to me first." Too late. I went back to our house the next morning while he was still at work. I knew his schedule. I let myself in with my key, grabbed my laptop, work files, some clothes. Enough to keep me away for a while. Then I made one more stop, the storage closet under the stairs. There, packed in an old bin with holiday junk, was a box Ben promised he'd thrown away years ago. A box full of Lacey. Photos. Letters. A damn playlist burned onto a CD labeled "For You, Always, Ellen Ben." I took pictures of the contents. Then I left the box on our bed. With a sticky note, "You never really let go of her. So now I'm letting go of you." That night, I sent an email to Rachel, the cousin who got married. I told her I was sorry for walking out during the reception, but that her wedding was used as a stage for my humiliation. She replied a few hours later. "Claire, I had no idea they were going to do that. If it means anything, I was horrified. You deserved so much better." It did mean something. Because while Ben's family treated me like a substitute teacher, Rachel saw the truth. The next week was quiet. Ben stopped calling. Just sent a few more texts, which I ignored. I met with a divorce lawyer 2 days later. I didn't file anything yet, but I wanted to be ready. Then something happened. Ben's younger brother, Tyler, the one who laughed during the speech, sent me a message. It was a photo, a screenshot of a text thread between Ben and Lacey. Recent, as in last week recent. Ben had messaged her after the wedding. "Crazy seeing our photo up there, LOL. Hope you're doing good. Miss those days sometimes." And she replied, I miss them too. We were a good match. Then a heart emoji. My mouth went dry. Tyler's message under the screenshot. You didn't hear this from me, but you deserve to know. It all made sense now. The speech wasn't a fluke. The photo wasn't just some random memory. They'd been talking. That's why he didn't defend me. That's why he laughed. That's why he never really asked his parents to stop. Because somewhere deep down, he agreed with them. I didn't cry when I saw the texts between Ben and Lacey. I just sat on the edge of the hotel bed, holding my phone, breathing slow. Like if I moved too fast, it might all hit me at once and take me down for good. He missed those days? He reached out to her after his parents gave a public love letter to their past. While I was sitting there like a stranger at my own husband's family table, I stared at the ceiling for a while. Then I got up, put on a sweatshirt, and drove to my best friend's house. Her name's Tasha. She's the kind of friend who doesn't ask questions until you're ready to talk. She just opened the door and let me in. I didn't even make it to the couch before I showed her the messages. Tasha read them and said, "You want revenge or you want peace?" I didn't answer right away, because truth is, I wanted both. The next day, I went quiet. I didn't tell Ben I knew about the texts. I didn't call Lacey. I didn't scream or cry. Instead, I gathered things. I looked up the business I helped Ben start 2 years ago. A home remodeling side hustle that I financed with $15,000 from my savings. My name wasn't on the LLC, but all the startup checks came from my account. I had receipts. I found emails where I pitched marketing ideas, invoices I sent to vendors under my email, even a contract I helped write for one of his first big jobs. Then I called a lawyer, not a divorce one this time, a business one. I asked a simple question: how much of that business can I touch? The answer: if you can prove you contributed financially and operationally, you may have leverage, especially in divorce proceedings. I thanked him. Then I logged into our shared Google Drive account. One Ben forgot I had access to and downloaded every document, contract, and client form. Every single file had my fingerprints on it. He was going to feel this. But that wasn't all. Tasha and I came up with something else. Ben's birthday was in 2 weeks. His parents were throwing him a small party at their house. Small meaning 30 people, catered food, and way too many wine glasses. I RSVP'd yes. Tasha came with me. I wore a black dress. Sharp, simple, and more powerful than anything Lacey ever pulled off in a flower crown. Ben looked shocked when he saw me, like he'd seen a ghost he thought was buried. He pulled me aside after the hugs. "Claire," he said, lowering his voice, "I didn't think you'd come." "I'm not here for you," I said flat. "I'm here for the show." He didn't know what that meant. Yet, halfway through dinner, his mom made a toast. Again. "To Ben," she said, "who has always followed his heart." I raised my glass, smiled politely. Then I stood up. "Actually," I said, tapping my glass, "I'd like to say something too." Ben looked panicked. I cleared my throat. "First, happy birthday, Ben. And thank you all for having me. I know it's been a weird few weeks. I've taken some time for myself, and I want to be honest about something." Silence. All eyes on me. I supported Ben emotionally, financially, and professionally. I helped start his business. I believed in him when no one else did, including, apparently, himself. Ben opened his mouth to interrupt. I held up my hand. "I found the box," I said. "The one with the letters. The CD. The pictures." Gasps. His mom looked confused. His dad looked uncomfortable. "And I saw the texts," I added. "The ones he sent after your little tribute to Lacey at the wedding. So, while you all are busy remembering what could have been, I'll be remembering who he turned into." Tasha stood next to me, arm crossed, my silent backup. I smiled. "And don't worry. I'm not just leaving. I'll be taking my part of the business I helped build. And maybe a little more, depending on how generous I feel." Then I raised my glass. "To true love and knowing when to walk away from people who never really chose you. I left before they could react, then followed me outside, begging for a second chance. He swore the messages to Lacey didn't mean anything. He said he was just feeling nostalgic. I turned to him, calm and cold. You want nostalgia? Go call Lacey. I'm busy living in the present, without you. Ben didn't follow me to my car that night. He just stood in the driveway, watching me walk away again. But this time, it wasn't a hotel I was heading to. It was a new apartment, my name only. 2 bedrooms, hardwood floors, no memories of him anywhere. Over the next few weeks, he tried. He called, emailed, sent flowers to my office. He even showed up once, but Tasha met him at the door and told him I wasn't interested. And I wasn't. Because the damage was done. Not just by him, but by me too. See, I spent years ignoring my own instincts. I let his family disrespect me in small, constant ways because I was scared to rock the boat. I stayed quiet to keep the peace. I told myself love was enough. But it wasn't. Love without respect is just slow heartbreak. And I was done bleeding for someone who barely looked back. So I went through with the divorce. And I went after the business. My lawyer sent Ben a formal request to review the financial records. We backed it up with proof of every dollar I contributed. I didn't want half. I wanted what I put in, plus damages for breach of verbal agreement. Ben fought it. He called it spite. I called it closure. We settled. He paid me $21,000 and signed over a few client leads I brought in during the early months. I sold those to one of his competitors. And I wasn't done. I sent his parents a copy of the settlement agreement. Just a simple scan, no message. A week later, his mom emailed me again. I hope you feel better now. I replied, once. I feel free. Lacey never came back to Charleston. I don't know if she and Ben talked more after that, and I didn't care. She was never the real villain. She just haunted a house I lived in. But Ben? He was the one who opened the door and invited her in. Months passed. I started dating again, slowly, carefully. One night, Tasha and I were out downtown, laughing over drinks, and I spotted Ben across the bar. He looked tired, thinner. He saw me too. We didn't speak. He just gave me a little nod. I gave him nothing back. Because some men don't deserve a wave. Some memories don't deserve to be kept warm. And some women like me don't come second to anyone. Not anymore.